2B2T, a realm where time folds into chaos. Each block holds stories of survival, forging passion in the fires of an anarchic legacy. Embark on a journey through the pixels where hope and nostalgia dance, carving a legend in the tapestry of Minecraft's untamed history.
As dawn breaks in December of 2010, the Minecraft server 2B2T was born, a realm where anarchy reigned supreme and rules were only whispers. The server, created by Housemaster, became a canvas for players to craft their destinies, to forge friendships and to build legacies. The server was one of the first of its kind, crafted without rules, and because of this, chaos would eventually ensue. Players would come and go, some unknown and some almost gaining celebrity status among the player base, and would pave the way for the Anarchy community, setting the stage for what would become a virtual background of survival, creativity, and eventually betrayal. So let's delve into the tapestry of 2B2T's history by spotlighting some of the server's most infamous and influential players, from the elusive FitMC and the master builder the Judge Holden to figures only spoken about as legend like iTristan and Jack the Ripper. Each character has left their own individual mark on the server, and veterans like Popbob, Jared 2013 and Offtopia are etched into the 2B2T lore, their tales woven into the very fabric of the Anarchy landscape. We'll start with FitMC, who began his career on 2B2T as a regular player, exploring the vast and chaotic landscape that the server is known for. His interest in the server's history and unique experiences led him to start creating YouTube content centered around 2B2T. His videos provided a window into the anarchy and complexity of 2B2T, attracting a growing audience fascinated by the server's lore. As his popularity on YouTube grew, so did his influence within the 2B2T community. Players looked to him for insights into the server history, strategies for survival, and updates on the ongoing events. His commitment to showcasing the raw, unfiltered nature of 2B2T resonated with both veterans and newcomers alike. Though there isn't much footage of him, XCC2 is considered one of the founding fathers of 2B2T. He played a crucial role in shaping the early culture of the server and was active during the initial years of 2B2T's existence, when the concept of an anarchy server was still taking root. His actions and exploits laid the groundwork for the anarchy community that would later thrive on 2B2T. One of his notable contributions was his involvement in the first Incursion. The first Incursion, which occurred in 2011 and I will get more into later, was a significant event that saw organized groups of players converging on spawn to engage in large-scale battles and chaos. XCC2 along with iTristan played a leadership role in orchestrating this early incursion, setting a precedent for future conflicts on the server. XCCT's legacy is intertwined with foundational years of 2B2T, and his influence can be seen in the anarchic spirit that permeates the server to this day. iTristan is another key figure in the history of 2B2T. Like XCC2, there isn't much footage of iTristan on his own account, as he mostly plays on his alt techno Scootaloo. iTristan played a significant role in the early development of the server and the establishment of its Anarchy ethos, and is widely known by players on the server. iTristan is also known for finding and destroying bases. Now, you might think that that isn't really in the spirit of Minecraft, and if you think that, then this server is not for you. 2B2T has a motto: don't trust anyone, and for good reason. Anything built on this server is always found and griefed without fail, and iTristan is probably likely the one to blame. Now, if you thought finding footage of XCC2 and iTristan was difficult for me, then finding footage of our next subject was basically impossible. Popbob is considered one of the oldest and most mysterious players on 2B2T. He also has been a part of the server since its early days and has left his own lasting legacy. He gained notoriety for his exceptional skills in griefing and creating chaos on the server, and was involved in numerous destructive actions and had a reputation for causing havoc at various locations. He was also very well known for discovering and exploiting duplication glitches on the server. These exploits allowed him to accumulate vast amounts of valuable items, contributing to his influence. He would maintain a mysterious and enigmatic persona, rarely revealing details about his real-life identity, and this added to the intrigue surrounding his presence on 2B2T. The first incursion on 2B2T was one of the earliest organised efforts to shape the server's culture and landscape, taking place in 2013, relatively soon after the server's inception. The incursion, also known as Incursion 1 or the Spawn Invasion, occurred in June of 2013. It was initiated by members of Valkyria who, seeking excitement, decided to invade the Spawn region. Equipped with duped god armor and gear, the Valkyrians, led by Sato86, traveled to Spawn aiming to kill players and place withers, intent on ruining the chances for players to leave Spawn safely. They settled at 2K2K, a base previously defended by the Facepunch Republic, using it as their operational base. The invasion lasted around a week, but fell apart due to participants pursuing other goals and a lack of clear objectives. The goals of the first incursion included asserting dominance over Spawn, establishing a presence on the server, and influencing the culture of 2B2T. Players involved sought to shape the Anarchy narrative by creating chaos and battles in and around Spawn. And Spawn, these days on 2B2T, is known for being a dangerous and challenging area, almost impossible to escape alive, and the first incursion was one of the first big events to create and maintain this reputation. The legacy of this specific incursion is significant in the context of the server's history because it set a precedent for organized chaos and large-scale battles to be part of everyday life. The incursion influenced subsequent events, laying the groundwork for the emergence of incursions as a recurring theme in 2B2T's culture. It also played a role by embracing the anarchic ethos of the server, the chaos and the battles that ensued becoming part of the server's lore and contributing to the identity of 2B2T as a unique and unpredictable virtual landscape. The second incursion, also known as Incursion 2, took place in August of 2013. Unofficially led by X0XP and other players, it occurred in the context of ongoing conflict and battles in and around Spawn. The incursion involved a clash between newcomers and veteran players and aimed to maintain the anarchic nature of the server. Now, while the second incursion did not have a single leader specifically, X0XP played a notable role in rallying players for the effort. The conflict demonstrated the continuing struggle between different factions and ideologies within the 2B2T community, emphasizing the dynamic and ever-changing nature of the server. As with other incursions, I want to point out that these details are based on available accounts and historical documentation within the community. However, the second incursion remains a significant event in the server's history, representing a chapter in the ongoing saga of conflict, resistance, and chaos on 2B2T. The third incursion on 2B2T occurred in 2015 as a response to the leaking of Asgard 2 and was led by Sato86, the then leader of Valkyria. The event, announced on April the 28th, aimed to vent the Valkyrians' anger, utilizing several exploits such as infinite blocks and mob spawning. A volunteer base was initially established near spawn, constructed around a stone brick and water build by Bama Beast. However, the focus shifted to creating 7 spawn bases, each representing the 7 deadly sins, with Wrath Outpost, built by Pyrobyte amongst others, gaining prominence due to its impressive design. This incursion was driven by a desire initially to reclaim morale and to respond to a perceived attack on the Wrath Outpost, although the perpetrator was initially unknown. To counter the potential disbandment of the group, the decision was made to hold spawn for 1 month. The group strategically built structures, reshaped the landscape, and faced challenges in maintaining and rebuilding the outpost due to technical limitations and new exploits. A notable moment during the third incursion was a coordinated effort to confront and attack individuals who had targeted one of their members. This action aimed to defend their position and defy those who had antagonized them throughout the event. Despite uncertainties about the outpost's fate, the primary goal was achieved by keeping the structure intact. Over the years, attempts to destroy or modify the Wrath Outpost persisted, but the structure remained resilient, being built completely out of obsidian. Utilizing dupe stashes, including those from the 1.4.7 dupe, participants would receive stacks of god apples and fully enchanted sets of diamond armor and weapons. Monuments were built at spawn, the bases were patrolled, and players were killed, although to a lesser extent than in previous incursions. The event served as a platform for collaboration, and contributions from volunteers like Bama Beast and Dorkamada were highlighted as being very influential. The Wrath Outpost's construction was completed in mid-May 2015, and over the following weeks, new players and those opposed to the incursion were killed, resulting in what was considered a large success. The third incursion, initially motivated by anger and frustration following the destruction of Asgard 2, aimed to prevent the scattering of Valkyrians by organizing an event that channeled their revolt and anger. It ended up surpassing expectations, concluding as a successful and very creative event, demonstrating the power of organized efforts and collaboration of the Valkyrians in the anarchic environment of 2B2T. Before we jump into the next section, something happened during this time that is almost as well known as the server itself, and for me to not mention it here would basically be a war crime. In 2015, during the second backdoor by iTristan and Pyrobyte, weapons with the maximum enchantment level of 32,767 were created. The two would wield them, killing everyone with a single blow. Whether the victim had a hacked client, was an experienced player, or were just newly spawned taking their first tentative steps into the unknown, the weapons would not discriminate. They initially remained in the possession of Pyrobyte and iTristan and were stored in the Archive, a sphere base constructed entirely out of illegally obtained bedrock blocks. However, before long, the weapons were exposed and raided, leading to their reporting to Housemaster. These weapons had enchantment levels of 32,000 applied to crucial enchantments, making them exceptionally powerful. Some included enchantment level 10 for additional effects such as powerful knockback, flame, fire aspect, thorns, protection, and unbreaking. The weapons gained notoriety instantly, rendering users practically invincible. This would lead to Housemaster taking rarely seen action on the server, attempting to remove and destroy the weapons. In 2017, Kino Rana and others exploited an SSH key to summon 32k weapons at spawn and used them to target new players. Housemaster's initial attempt to render the weapons unusable was to have the server check each time a chest was opened, and upon finding enchanted items would reset each enchantment that was over the vanilla limit. However, Alpha Computer's discovery of an exploit in 2018 would allow the opening of shulker boxes containing 32k items, and this would make the weapons more widely accessible. His exploit would further enable the distribution of 32k weapons, reducing their rarity, and other players such as Hacksaw Elite further decreased their value by giving them away for free at spawn. However, this could not and would not last forever, and as of December the 20th, 2019, Housemaster successfully patched 32k weapons, reverting them even when in shulkers inside a player's inventory. The only surviving 32k weapons are in chests that have never been reopened or are in unloaded chunks and are still there to this day, gathering dust. Ironically, the most powerful weapons on the server, and as soon as they are discovered, they would vanish. The fourth incursion was next, beginning in June of 2016, but as a lot more information about this event is known, let's look at the fifth incursion for now. The fifth incursion would take place on 2B2T from November to December of 2016, but would differ from previous ones in that it focused more on construction rather than large-scale battles. The incursion was publicly announced by Jared 2013 on November the 23rd and brought together the Fourth Reich, remnants of the fourth incursion, and remaining veterans and surviving new players. The primary goals were to create an obsidian wall around spawn, remove all lava casts and water within a 400 by 400 block radius, and construct an obsidian town to contain new players who were joining the server after the 1.11 update had caused spawn to be much easier to escape from. Despite its serious objectives, the fifth incursion gradually turned into more of a joke than an actual incursion, with many not taking it seriously on the subreddit. Efforts to construct the obsidian containment wall faced interference from Team Aurora and concerns about waves of French players following Agent GB's video, which had advertised the server in France. The progress was further impeded by withers being spawned on the wall by various players, which would destroy the wall as quickly as it could be repaired. The command structure also faced challenges when Jared 2013's stash was allegedly discovered and griefed, leading to his hiatus from the server, and a player called Demon Elite 119 would take over tactical operations, while another player by the name of Tim McNukepants focused on building the spawn base. The incursion officially ended on December the 11th, 2016 due to Jared 2013's waning interest, the disbandment of the group responsible for spawn bombing, and the failure of the wall project. The only slight success was an obsidian base constructed by the Fourth Reich meant to be the Obsidian Town, but its location was leaked and heavily griefed. The incursion became more of a joke and might have become reality if not for community backlash against Agent GB's potential series on 2B2T. The idea of the incursion being a joke seemed to be vindicated when news broke of Demon Elite's betrayal of the incursion. As Tim McNukepants went rogue and disregarded tactical plans, Demon Elite leaked the location of the 5th Incursion's operating base to Neda T and Drew Bookman. Drew Bookman would then proceed to type the coordinates into the server's chat box, and Neda T would ready her forces, leading to the griefing of the base. Demon Elite would eventually admit to the betrayal, revealing he planted withers within the base while pretending to fight and protected selected individuals he deemed loyal. The 6th Incursion, also known as the Great Unification, was initiated by Sato86 on April 3rd, 2018, and was spurred on by Ant Venom's video, The Face of Minecraft Anarchy. The video highlighted the diversity and toxicity that Antvenom claimed to find in the 2B2T community. And on a temporary map put in place while the actual map was being updated, various groups built an end base to prepare for the influx of new players, or ants as they were being called. As the main map Incursion unfolded, groups like the Spawn Masons, Imperium and Team Veteran joined together in what would be an unprecedented move on the server, and together they continued to construct the obsidian wall around Spawn, defying the fact that the last attempt had failed. Thebes and Sound, one of the most respected engineers on the server, was hired to take control of the plans this time, ensuring that safe hands were in charge. A new tactic was employed in order to gather resources, and so began slave labor, in which new players were captured and forced to mine obsidian, craft it into ender chests for easy transportation before remining them back into obsidian at the wall. An organized anti-incursion movement led by Armor Smith's followers emerged, attacking the wall and engaging in battles, notably the Battle of the Northern Wall. This battle would rage for days, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. In the end, however, the wall was defended, and the anti-incursion movement was eventually driven back, with most of the soldiers either being killed or forced to log. This would mark a great victory for the incursion groups, greatly boosting their confidence in themselves and each other, with the once strained alliance becoming a formidable enemy to anybody who wanted to join the server or bring down the spawn wall to aid those who did. Despite challenges from anti-incursion groups and griefing, with withers being spawned in their hundreds along the wall perimeter, the incursion was deemed a huge success, symbolizing a victory for the community. The incursion officially ended on May 3, 2018, with the wall considered a significant achievement despite its limitations. The concept of slave labor in mining ender chests for obsidian became a defining element of the 6th incursion, involving the establishment of gulag spawn camps to incentivize new players to contribute to the wall building effort, and to this day, the 6th incursion is considered one of the most well-planned, executed and successful, with the enemy groups coming together being one of the greatest sights in the history of 2B2T. The 7th incursion was initiated by Henry on September 21st, 2018, and emerged amid subreddit drama involving the French YouTuber Fuse, who was planning on joining the server. His first video gained 140,000 views in the first 2 hours and would go on to amass 300,000 that day. The primary goals of this incursion included constructing a massive lava wall known as the French Friar and building a trench around Spawn. However, Henry eventually relinquished leadership and proposed a community election on September 23rd. Jared 2013 was elected as head admin, and a sectional leadership system was implemented, assigning roles to members for specific projects against the Second French Invasion. Meanwhile, Fuse's YouTube series continued and tensions escalated with the declaration of war on Americans and Team Veteran, leading to the formation of Team Baguette. FitMC, initially involved, was later kicked out for violating incursion goals, and drama ensued when Jared 2013 began banning individuals who he deemed disruptive, sparking outrage and forming an anti-incursion group led by a player named Women Are Objects. This group, primarily associated with the Alpha Alliance, focused on hindering incursion progress rather than assisting the French players. Further controversy arose when Jared 2013 instructed Demon Elite to create fake pictures of people reporting the Discord server, leading to dissent among the leadership. Generals collectively kicked Jared out, clearing the unjust ban list. The incursion's decline followed soon after, marked by inactivity and dissatisfaction among members. Henry would announce the premature end on October 13th, labeling the incursion a failure. Despite this, Thebes and Sound continued the Trench project independently. Jared attempted to revive the incursion with 7th Incursion Reloaded, apologizing for past drama and unbanning everyone except for certain generals. work would continue on Incursion Reloaded with new roles created such as propaganda, tree removal, and donkey supply. The conflict would finally end on October the 31st, with notable activity ceasing a week before. I would like to make a quick note here, as the focus of the upcoming section is Etika, who unfortunately is no longer with us due to a long battle with his mental health. I would like to ask everyone to keep that in mind when commenting or replying to people down below. Thank you. The Purge was next and became the spiritual successor to Spawn Incursions, with the term Incursion temporarily retired due to the previous Incursion's failures. Triggered by the arrival of YouTube streamer Etika on the server, the first phase of the Purge aimed to eradicate new players at Spawn. The concept originated in the Spawn Mason Discord and materialized on May the 27th, 2019 when Police Mike 55 opened the Purge Discord to the public. During Phase 1 of the Etika Purge, which lasted from May the 27th to June the 16th, 2019, the Purge had original generals like Police Mike 55, UFO Crossing, Hermetic Lock, and the Dark Emperor. Again, the purpose was to eliminate new players, and regiments were established for specific tasks including building a lava wall, destroying highways, causing server lag, patrolling Spawn, and hunting for bases. The Purge faced initial success with the construction of the lava wall, destruction of highways and portals, and server lag during Etika's streams. Opposition arose on May the 30th with the formation of the second anti-incursion, aiming to undo Purge operations and assist new players. Spawn encounters and conflicts escalated, with both sides creating videos and montages portraying the conflict differently. On June the 10th, 2019, the anti-incursion attempted to rebuild Wrath Outpost, but the Purge quickly destroyed their progress. The first phase concluded on June the 16th as Etika's streaming slowed down and the queue significantly decreased, demonstrating the success of the Purge. Several generals stepped down during this phase, and promotions and changes occurred within leadership. Once Phase 1 was completed, the Purge would enter a waiting period for the next potential YouTube invasion. However, internal conflict arose as some complained that the Purge was primarily an advertising platform for the Imperium. Phase 2 was proposed to continue on the Imperium Discord, leading to conflicts within the Voperium Alliance and ultimately resulting in Voco members insiding and deleting the Purge Discord. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. I really enjoy making these. Part 4 is going to be up in the next couple of days. We have so much to talk about. We're going to be talking about the Russia War. We're going to be talking about the 10th Incursion and some other stuff. Don't forget to subscribe, because apparently 894% of you are not subscribed, and we need to fix that. And yeah, turn notifications on. Ready for the next one, and I'll see you then.